Welcome back to Mysterious TikToks part number 38. There is so much crazy stuff happening in the world, so I want to thank not only you all for supporting me every day, but also the aliens that are up there in the skies, because I'll tell you what, there's so much content out there and so much bizarre things happening, so I do appreciate it. Like the video, subscribe if you haven't, and leave me a comment about anything you see in this video, and I really hope you enjoy.
I said, do you have religion? And they said, religion? Isn't that something that's created by man? Do we have faith? Yes, we have faith. Do we believe that there is that which you call God? We accept that based on our science. It's no longer a faith-based idea that there is a creator, that which you call God. That truly is. Do you believe in life after death? Yes, they do. They even have means to communicate with their loved ones. It's not some parlor trick. They really have the means to do it. But there are forbidden questions that you can't ask about what happens after death. Otherwise, you ask that, you're cut off immediately.
I mean, that is the exact response I think aliens would have, because if they are what we think they are, right, and a lot of people do think that aliens are demons as well, that's the exact response that they would say. And it wouldn't surprise me if aliens do turn up one day, right, and say, by the way, God doesn't exist, there's no creator, and people are going to go, oh, we must listen to them because they're aliens. Because it doesn't matter what alien being could come out the clouds and say to me, oh, Ben Colson, that the person you believe in doesn't exist. You're going to have to try harder than that, mate. So this guy you see on screen here, his name is Phil Schneider. Now, this guy said that he actually got in a fight with two grey aliens, and he ended up killing two of them. That's not the crazy part. The crazy part is that this guy, shortly after, had a very mysterious death. He obviously got himself into a bit of trouble here. Let's watch what he says, and we'll talk about it after.
And I killed two of them. Yes, they're mortal, and they do die. However, in the process, one of them did this. All I remember is that he just kind of waved his hand in front of his chest, and the next thing I know, this blue beam hit me and just literally opened me up like a fish, and burnt my fingers right off of me. And it was some form of electrical force, because the kind of like.
Look, he's actually missing fingers. Either this guy's Ezio or he's telling the truth. Because I tell you what, if he is lying, that's a bit extreme. You know, I mean, I went pretty extreme to get out of going to school when I was a kid, but not chopping my fingers off. So, I don't know. That's a key detail, I think.
Being hit by a lightning bolt burned all my toenails off of me. Completely crispy crittered my left foot. Burnt the shoe right off of me. All I remember is the smoking remains, and I'm still conscious, but in and out of, I didn't remember much. And there was a Green Beret that was right behind me that risked his life. In fact, he died. But he risked his life. He shoved me back in the basket and hit the button and took me up. And I wouldn't be alive talking to you today if it wasn't for him. I'm forever indebted. He lost his life. 66 Secret Service agents, Green Berets, Black Berets, crack troops lost their lives because the government, our United States government, lied, did not tell us anything about the alien threat. There's a war underneath there, and I'm talking dead serious. It's been going on since that time. Since late August of 1979, our military, the Russian military, basically the militaries of the world, have been in constant conflict with the outer space alien.
If he did go through that, that's crazy, and that would be traumatizing, wouldn't it? You survive an encounter with two aliens, you get your hand blown off, and then you know that no one's going to believe you. I think you would go crazy more knowing that no one believes you than actually getting attacked by aliens. Let me know what you think about that. And if you've got any sort of information on this Phil Schneider person, then leave it down below because I'd love to read it. Okay, I had to show you this. This video is taken about an hour from my house. This is genuinely scary to watch because this is near where I live. And the orbs are here. And this is taken in not a potato phone. So Happy days. But anyway, let's give this video.
Way. I asked for proof and they showed themselves. Why does it come up on the phone as an orb? The autofocus makes it look like an orb. No sound whatsoever. It's right over me and there's no sound. Of course there's a car going by. No sound whatsoever. Yep, now it's blinking. Now it's a freaking plane.
Okay, yeah, that is very weird. And do you know what I just thought? Maybe they do change, so when the lights underneath the drone will just appear as if it's the bottom of a plane, just to blend in. That's something that could happen. That's something that we could have just seen just there. But yeah, I'm still waiting for one to crash near my house, because I'm hijacking it. Who knows? Because I've got a twin brother. I might have that special brain to drive an alien spaceship. That's my goal. You might see it on the channel. If I do, I'll be straight live streaming. So this footage is very old. It's from 1990. And obviously, that's a UFO. But the thing is, the interesting thing about this video, people have been trying to debunk it since 1990. It's been around for this long, and no one's deemed it as fake. So that's very, very interesting. So let's give it a watch. You know what I'm going to say? Aliens. 100% aliens. I'm out. There's no logical reason. There's not a drone. Those are aliens. Alright? They're here. And I think the people driving them look like that bloke there with a tinfoil hat on. Look like him. I need to get one of them in for questioning. Could you imagine if I pulled that off, guys? This is why you should subscribe. Because I'm not joking. If aliens come to take me, right, I'll say to them, look, before you can take me, you got to do a YouTube video with me. Then you can take me.
I'm committed. So you better be committed as well and subscribe.
I thought this was fake, but they actually did it. They might have found the most famous ancient artifact in all of history. For the longest time, historians dismissed it as a myth, a made-up story glamorizing one of humanity's greatest moments. And now, CIA documents from 1988 reveal the Ark of the Covenant is real, and they know exactly where it is. Known as Project Sunstreak, where they sent over 30 agents on very special missions to find the Ark without telling them what they were looking for or even where they were going. Just that they were looking for something very important in order to make the operation as unbiased as possible. The three major goals for this project were establish whether a threat exists, if so, what are its dimensions, and can it be exploited. One particular agent on this mission, number 32, described finding almost exactly what they were looking for. He reported seeing a container with another container inside of it, made of wood, gold, and silver, and was shaped like a coffin, decorated with seraphim on top, which are these things. This already very accurately describes the Ark of the Covenant, without even knowing it's what he was looking for. But it doesn't end there. He goes on to confirm that he found this container hidden underground in the Middle East as he heard people speaking in Arabic around him. According to him, the container's purpose is to bring people together, holding information and historical knowledge far beyond anything we know, and that it's protected by powerful entities in this underground Middle Eastern chamber, also seeing domed roofs on the surrounding buildings. Keep that part in mind. The agent explained that this box can only be opened by those authorized to do so, and that it won't be opened until the time is right. Anyone who opens it before then will be destroyed by an unknown power. Explorer, all in his official CIA report. Everything he described are known characteristics of the Lost Ark without even knowing what he was looking at. And the reason he didn't know where he was or what he was trying to find was because this was a remote viewing mission the CIA had sent him on. In case you didn't know, the CIA was kinda obsessed with remote viewing in the 70s and 80s, part of their larger Project Stargate program. Put simply, remote viewing is the ability to project your consciousness to other parts of the world, or even outside of our world and at any point in time, to see exactly what would be there if you were to go in person, also known as astral projection. Kinda like when you die in a video game and you're waiting to respawn, you can fly around and see everything as that invisible camera that no one else can see. Now I know when most people hear this, they immediately call it nonsense voodoo psychic magic that has no merit in reality, but it kinda works. The CIA and similar agencies have successfully used it on numerous occasions with incredible results, like Patricia Mona, who successfully found 30 missing people for the RCMP in Canada through her remote viewing sessions. Joe McGonigal, a decorated intelligence officer, described seeing the construction of a giant Soviet submarine through his sessions, an idea that was mocked and literally laughed at the time until they actually found it, and it matched exactly how Joe described it. Other remote viewers drew accurate sketches of secret Soviet bases, which later turned out to be real, or found the exact locations of hostages during major events like the Red Brigade and the Israeli hostage crisis, which were then rescued. Angela Ford was tasked with finding a fugitive on the run through remote viewing and found the name of the exact city he was hiding in Wyoming. He was there and they caught him. Former President Jimmy Carter himself admits they got the exact coordinates of a crashed plane in Africa from a remote viewer, and lo and behold, it was there.
Thing is, I did a lot of research on this, and apparently that they're just talking to demons, get the information to know where things are. Apparently it's more that speaking to demonic spirits, because a lot of these CIA people actually hired mediums, and not the good ones either. Some people that were dabbing into dark magic and black magic. That's what I think. I think any information you can obtain spiritually about the world isn't always a good thing. I think we should stay well away from that. Yeah, you have to let me know what you think down below. And do you think the Ark of Covenant is on Earth, or do you think it's back in heaven?
The astronauts, we spoke with Dr. Vyacheslav Zaitsev of the Academy of Science. He called our attention to two prehistoric relics which simply cannot be explained by our present knowledge of history. The first is the skull of a bison which roamed the Siberian tundra 40,000 years ago. He was shot by a bullet. The proof is the hole. Ballistics experts have established that it could only have been pierced by a high-speed projectile, and that the beast was alive when...
Flipping heck, what did you shoot him with? A flipping torpedo? Or a high-powered crossbow? Yeah, look at that. If anyone's got experience with guns, let me know. But that doesn't look like an arrow or something like that. And to see a wound on a bison that long ago, it could give evidence that there were beings here, you know, all the way back then. Advanced beings were advanced. But then why are they shooting at cows? Bison. But yeah, comment what you think about that. That is interesting. See, a lot of people believe that the aliens are just chilling under the ice. That's the way to do it. Literally just go under the ice. And in this next video, I'm going to show you how deep that ice goes. And there are just big holes out there in the ice. People just don't know what's happening. There's a bit more than global warming causing them holes. But yeah, I mean, if I was an alien and I came here, I would 100% go in the ice. That's the best place to go. That's what I'm saying. Think about it. If they have the technology to go down that far, you ain't going to be seen by no one. Nothing is getting down there. And they could go through miles of ice. They could have a flipping mansion, an alien mansion under the ice, and we could never know. If they have the technology to zap in a second They can I'm pretty sure they could go through ice, but yeah, I know a lot of you think that they're out there in Antarctica, but anyway, leave your theories down below.
You know what? They did the Brighter Days memory erasure treatment to me, so I'm having trouble remembering the details. They're foggy because at the Brighter Days clinic they do the memory erasure, you know?
What?
The memory erasure. They erase my memories. It's a little foggy, but
If you could remember, struggle, tell me. Give me a date.
So she remembered getting her memory erased. And isn't that so annoying? You know, when you forget something, but your brain allows you to remember that you forgot something, but doesn't tell you what it is. But yeah, I just find Hollywood so weird. I've always called it Hollyweird. Like, I would never get involved in it, no matter what. You couldn't pay me enough, because what they do behind closed doors, I just never want to get involved. And they all do it for power and money. That's it. That's the only reason they go. They don't go it. Well, maybe some people go because they love to act and the passion's there. But I think most people do it for money and fame and to accelerate their career. You couldn't pay me enough to get involved in Hollywood. Never.
Even the Pentagon admitted there's something here, we just don't understand it. In the 70s and 80s, the U.S. government paid people to stare at maps and psychically locate enemies. And they weren't joking. It's called Project Stargate, a secret program ran by the CIA and U.S. Army to train psychic spies. They believed remote viewing, the ability to see targets from across the world, could be weaponized during the Cold War. The program ran for over 20 years. They recruited psychics, soldiers, even civilians to sit in locked rooms and see Soviet bases, terrorist cells, and missing hostages. And sometimes it actually worked. One viewer correctly described the inside of a downed Soviet bomber. Another led the military to a kidnapped general in Italy. These successes kept funding alive, but in 1995 the project was shut down. Official reason? Inconsistent results. Unofficially, it was getting too weird, too public, and possibly too accurate. To this day, Stargate's research remains classified.
Yeah, I mean, if the results were accurate, they would 100% still be doing it. They would 100% still be doing it. And I've heard a lot about this remote viewing stuff. To be honest, it just all sounds demonic. That's how I see it. If they're calling in psychics to say, look, tell us where this person is, it's not the psychic telling us where that general was being held or that submarine was. It's demons. Any information you can obtain when it's not from God is demonic. So that's why, we were warned about mediums, and I was a person that went to mediums every year. For years, I went every year. I had no idea how dangerous that was, because my question, and I was deceived, when I was younger, it's a perfect remedy, because what they do, they target people who are heartbroken and weak, because it might be someone that's just passed away, a loved one, and they're just looking to have that closure or just communicate. It's so easy for a demonic entity to impersonate a loved one to gain that trust, to keep you away. Because the first question people say is, well, if it's bad, how come they tell you good things? How come they say, break up with this person because you're not going to last, or quit this job because it's not good for you? They'll tell you good things. They'll whisper sweet lullabies in your ear to keep you away from the person that we all need. So that's my end of video advice. Do not seek information from anything else. If you want guidance and want help from not a human being, it's God. God is the only good person we should go to when we need advice and guidance. Because demons can lead you down a path that may seem fun and happy and good, but it's in the opposite direction. Because what feels good isn't necessarily a good thing, So just be really careful, guys. Be super careful. Stay on your toes. Stay vigilant out there, because there's a lot of strange things happening. And I think there's just we are caught in the middle of a massive spiritual warfare right now. And The light and the dark are fighting each other. And the objective of the darkness is to take you with them, because they know their fate. So they need to take as many souls as they can with them. That's their job. So don't be deceived, and please believe me when I say I'm not being patronizing. I'm not getting on my pedestal here and saying that I know better. I've gone through it. I've gone through all the psychics and the non-believing stages and the, you know, trapped in darkness. I went through it all, and it always leads to destruction, guys. Going to mediums, going to fortune tellers, card readers, palm readers, whatever it all is. It's all demonic. Protect yourselves at all times. Spiritual warfare is a very real thing. You know, if you go to war, right, in this world, in the physical world, they tell you to put armor on, don't they? Put armor on, here's a sword and shield to protect you from the enemy. But what about spirits? Spiritual warfare. Prayer. Prayer is your armor. So, and I know for those who don't pray, it might be a bit weird, but it will come. It will come naturally. Just be careful out there, guys. And I pray for you all every day to keep you protected, to keep you safe. And I'll continue to do that. So thank you all so much for supporting me. I'm really enjoying making these videos, and if you've got any critiques, I really appreciate any feedback. I won't get triggered. Honestly, I just appreciate anyone that's trying to help me out. So if you've got any feedback for the channel, if you think there's anything I can improve on, anything at all, let me know in the comments. And thank you all for the amazing support. Honestly, thank you all so much. It's amazing what's happening, and I'm just so happy to have this channel, to have you, and to see the way things are going, because it's honestly like a dream for me. So thank you all so much, and I'll see you tomorrow.